Black Rifle Coffee, baby. Pretty cool.
I used to mix Copenhagen with the Folgers crystals.
That's brilliant, man.
That's bold, dude.
Yeah,
It works. It'll wake you right up.
Yeah.
Dude, that like it was so acidic when you just do the Folgers crystals in those MRE
it's so
packets,
bitter.
dude. I couldn't do it, man.
Bitter, man. That's what I wish we could get into the MREs. You know, our little quick fucking the
instant coffee.
packets.
I know. Yeah,
Wish we
it's
could
just
get into
it's
MRE.
got
I
it's
thought you
got to
were
be
talking
the
about, tobacco.
Oh no.
well, I mean, why did they get rid of that? Like it was just another like the government cutting costs. But like in World War II, guys got a pack of
You'll see.
it was like two. No, they got like 2 Lucky Strike smokes.
Yeah.
And,
I think that
and
lasted like all the way up to Vietnam.
did it?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah.
Fucking cheapskates, man. Imagine if you got a fucking
They got a whole
Copenhagen little
Yeah, but
dippage as you were in your MRE.
The food in the old Sea Rats, man. Like, do you ever see some of that shit? It's like, you remember the old push-up ice creams?
Oh yeah.
You remember?
Is that how the cans were?
Yeah, but it came out as like this like paste, this like goo.
Here's your
It's
beef
like hard
paste.
goo. Yeah, like kind of this weird spam looking thing, man. Freaking nasty.
I just saw what MREs look like now the other day. Holy moly.
Have they come along? I haven't
They've
seen
come
them.
a long way.
Have they?
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to, or we did a story on one of the long range Marines from Vietnam.
Yeah.
And they would, for their coffee, they would make the coffee in the fruit cocktail can.
Really?
As a way to like sweeten it up a
Yeah.
little bit.
Probably using a C4 tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if that's as a piece of content? It's, we still have a few World War II veterans we're in contact with, but making coffee the way
they used to.
certain war generations would have made coffee in the field.
Yeah.
And if you can, have somebody from that generation there to kind of guide you. Or
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're going to do, like, we're trying to set up another breaching shoot next year in Georgia at that place, Matt.
Is that the one you guys
Coffee
went
Charge.
to?
I didn't go on that
Matt
one.
went.
Matt went
I can't
with
remember. Oh,
Brandon and
he went with
Jericho,
Jericho, yeah.
and Clean, and they went out there.
That's right.
And we're trying to get another
I
run a show down there.
I remember I was like, I wanted to go to that thing so bad, man. Just breaching in general.
I haven't done anything for so long on that front, but yeah, that's when we could do it. Do the C4 coffee. I mean, I'm curious as how long it takes water to boil when you just do a flame on a chunk of C4.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know what they were doing in World War II.
I would imagine they had their oh golly,
We used to have the little tablets.
What are the tin things that you get issued to drink out
Yeah,
of?
it came with your canteen.
Yeah, your canteen.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, the
canteen cup.
The canteen cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine they use those, right?
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
that stayed so long. Like when I first joined.
I mean, I was
early
still
90s,
getting- I was still getting those, yeah.
Like, I think they still have them.
We
Like,
still were like issued those on deployment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, guys would purposely drink out of that just to appear more salty. you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, do you know how many Marines have
Yeah.
pissed in that canteen? cup
Oh
over the
god,
years?
dude. Well, the canteens too. I remember going to SIF at SOI, and they just like you get issued 2 canteens, and then they have a tub of water that they
Yeah.
would put bleach into, and they would make you
and
go.
you could taste it too.
Oh, so well you could taste that, but then immediately you would throughout the process of SOI, you would see all the dudes that would spit Copenhagen into their canteen, and you're just like, and then you're drinking out of your canteen as you're watching these guys. You're like,
Well,
oh my
really?
God.
Generations of Marines.
Generations of
Dip
Marine
spit,
Copenhagen spit
piss.
in my canteen.
I think
Weird.
the thing that fucked up canteens more than anything, not just canteens, but Camelback bladders, like Marines would like put like sugary drinks in your canteen.
Yeah, you'd mix
because
your,
in that sugar, it just sits in there and ferments, and it like it
Yeah, it
becomes a
gets
science experiment.
Alcohol on the
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's good.
it's fun, man.
I like just using glasses nowadays. And cups.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a coffee can over there, that Faust coffee.
Yeah.
I wonder, that might have been the old World War II one. But that was how Folgers like really made a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Was supplying
Government contract.
Yeah, the World War II coffee.
So obviously coffee is it's the Wild West these days. So many people are getting into it. But even when I was growing up in the 90s, all I remember is my dad having that big tin of Folgers. That generation, that's all they drank was either that or Maxwell House.
Yeah. They had Taster's Choice. What was the other one? It was like a flash in the pan company, like Brim or something, like fill it to the rim with Brim. You remember that? You guys remember? No. Yeah, it was like a flash company that came out with a catchy commercial, but yeah.
Well, did you know too the heiress to the Folgers empire was one of the women that was killed in the Manson murders? The first.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, man. Well,
yeah. Cults like that do attract. You notice in cult they attract people from like Patty Hearst.
Yeah. There's another one.
Yeah. They get people from kind of well-to-do backgrounds, and then they can squeeze money out of them. And
but we were talking earlier about
here we go.
The Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, what were you?
I thought you were going up. Go ahead.
I'm ready for this pitch.
Well,
whenever it happens.
yeah, no, I'm curious though because I didn't realize that Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson were roommates together at Arkansas, and they won a national championship together.
Man. Yeah.
And then Jerry Jones's story is super interesting.
Oh, phenomenal.
Because like he literally hit gold with one of his oil wells, and then he used that money from that one well
to
buy the Cowboys, dude.
Which was already an established brand. It's not like it was some podunk football team.
No,
like,
they're America's team.
The Cowboys was America's team before the 90s.
Yeah.
Landry and Staubach.
Right.
And
It was right before he purchased the Cowboys. They had a string of seasons where they were just, on a losing streak. And so the whole America's team was starting to, people were second guessing him. It was like at an all-time low. And then
the Niners were the big brand in the 80s.
Yeah, but I remember when he bought the team, because my old man was like he was excited. And I remember like the controversy like in the newspapers at the time, and I only remember it because he would talk about all the stupid ass idiots that didn't see it as a good thing, and he was like all on board with it. And like the big thing was like firing Tom Landry, because Tom Landry in Texas, absolutely legendary, man.
Mount Rushmore, Texas.
Yes, I mean, and the way he was let go, he probably could have done it better. But like the Cowboys needed somebody to come in and light a fire, man. And I don't think you could have asked for a more passionate person to be able to do that than Jerry Jones.
Because that's all he wanted to do was football.
That was his dream. I mean, that's the cool thing about that little documentary that they did. It's like, I didn't know that. But he's like, yeah, this was my dream as a boy, as a youngster. Like that's all I've ever wanted.
And Jimmy Johnson stayed in football, and he was already winning national championships for the University of Miami.
Yep.
He's like, hey, bud, you want to graduate to the NFL?
Didn't he start? I think he started out at Oklahoma, right? And he was a rival with Barry Switzer.
Switzer was the Oklahoma.
Yeah, but I think initially Jimmy Johnson was on, I don't know which team he was coaching, but Barry Switzer had a better record than Jimmy Johnson. But then once Jimmy Johnson went to Florida, that's when it kind of role reversal, and Jimmy Johnson started winning.
Yeah, Jerry Jones hired Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Right? To be the head coach. But then, where did all that beef come from between those two? That they just got over, last year.
I don't know. That documentary does such a good job, and I want to murder it, but I think it's because, Jerry Jones he wasn't like your typical NFL football team owner. Like this guy he's all in,
hands
man.
on,
all in.
It's kind of an Al Davis type.
Yeah. And he did not see himself as being, like your typical football owner or team owner, where you just kind of sit in the sidelines and sit back and let everybody. Like he wanted to be on the field.
He's in the draft room.
Yeah, in the draft room, and
it's got to be hard being a GM under Jerry Jones. Yeah,
which he specifically made that. Like he took, they fired Tex Schramm, which was their GM, and he was like, "Nope, that's my job now. I am the GM," which I think was kind of unprecedented for a NFL team owner to take the GM position. But yeah, it's a fascinating documentary. But the power struggle really was all over like who's getting credit for the Cowboys, winning the Super Bowls, and I think, Jimmy Johnson, you can't take any credit away from him because he was a phenomenal head coach for the Cowboys.
And he proved himself at the collegiate level.
Absolutely, man.
Champions.
I mean, and the way that guy coached, man, like he ran his boys like a drill instructor. Like, he was not easy on them boys,
man. You can get away with in college dealing with 30-year-olds is a whole different thing to be
professionals.
Talking to them the way those clips I saw, the way Jimmy Johnson, the way Jimmy Johnson was talking to these like grown ass professionals is like you're not seeing that in professional football coaches anymore. No,
you don't see that anymore. I mean, there's one scene where it shows back in the day, in the early days, like first or second season, where one of the players just like collapses. He's on the ground and and Jimmy Johnson goes over and get the fuck off this field. Like, I don't want you here. Like,
fucking Texas 2-a-days in the heat, dude.
Yeah. No joke.
Then I was like a freshman, sophomore in the 90s, and I remember the mentality with even high school football coaches was, water makes you weak, no water. Learn how to fight through the thirst. And then Corey Stringer of the Minnesota Vikings, who was a phenomenal football player, had a heat stroke and died during 2-a-days. Yeah. And like all of a sudden, all across America, it's like, you better be drinking water.
Yeah, go figure on that. And not to mention Jerry Jones or Jimmy Johnson in the middle of the 90s dealing with Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
Michael Irving, like the cocaine was just flowing during back then, like trying to wrangle those meth cats to a championship.
They asked Troy Aikman, "Did you hang out with Michael Irvin?" I'm sure they both loved each other as teammates, but they weren't. They lived two separate lives off. Somebody asked Troy Aikman, "Did you used to hang out with Michael Irvin?" And he was like, "No, no, I didn't go anywhere near what he was doing in his personal life."
But that team, the '90s Cowboys, man, for me, it's nostalgic because after the Cowboys, their winning streak kind of came to an end. Like I stopped watching football.
Yeah, because you were born in Texas, right?
Yeah, so like if football, the Cowboys were like it was such an it was like family dinner, man. Like every Sunday, it was like, hey, our church was like sitting in front of the TV watching the boys, man.
Watching Tom Landry coach with a suit on.
Yeah, the stoic. Like that guy was he seemed emotionless, He never got rattled, he just stood there like a stoic, a phenomenal coach, man, for his time, But I think the Cowboys, they needed something to turn it around and put them back on track. But if you get the time, man, I highly recommend that. Because, like, I don't know. I don't think you have to be a Cowboys fan to watch it. The cool thing is like, they brought in like Steve Young from the 49ers. They brought in a bunch of different players from rival teams and like had them talk about.
Yeah, because Dion was there too, right? During that time?
Yeah, he came out, I think, for the second Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then popped over to the 49ers and won championships with them.
I think he came from the 49ers.
Or did he? Oh, and then, I thought he came from the Falcons.
And then Jerry Jones was like, because they lost to the 49ers in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, that was when he did the Dirty Bird on the Star, right? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah, the little celebration thing.
I thought that was Terrell Owens years later.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought Dion did that originally, and then.
Well, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Dion.
Yeah. I could be wrong on that.
What a talent that guy was. Lightning, man.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And he coached now with that Travis Hunter. He coached one of these great two-way players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he played baseball. Didn't he play? He was in
for the Braves.
Did he go to the
Yeah.
Braves?
Yeah, he played 3 or 4 seasons.
Oh,
with
I'm
the-
thinking-
and the Yankees. He played for the Yankees too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Bo Jackson going over to.
Bo Jackson too. Yeah.
Did you watch that 30 and 30 on him?
On Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was done. Yeah, that one was one of the original 30 for 30s.
Yeah, oh my God, that dude was an
So-
absolute phenom. Of an
Someone made the greatest point too, because everything we know about PED use now, which Bo Jackson has never been accused of, that guy was literally genetically built that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything we know now in the current state of athletics, or at least athletics in the 90s, someone made a really good point that there's no way, unless we actually witnessed it in person, which we did, that you could convince someone now that he wasn't on PEDs. That
Right.
he was.
That's how
truly-
gifted he was.
Yeah, he was a freak of nature physically.
Reminds me like a Walter Payton, but like
He could
remember
run
Walter
up
Payton?
walls. Like you remember
Barry Sanders, like
yeah.
some of these guys, when you look back on them, you're like, holy shit, man! Like, well, just next level physical gifted people, man. Like, just incredible.
You see how quarterbacks operate now. A guy like Patrick Mahomes, and a lot of them. He's just the best example, but there's a lot of them now. The way that they can move around the field and throw on the move, the way they do now in these weird underhand throws. They call it the Madden effect, because that was never how a quarterback operated up until the last maybe 10 years. But what happens is these quarterbacks, they grew up playing Madden and doing things on the video game that you necessarily wouldn't do in real life.
Yeah.
And it actually translated into their actual physicality. So the way they learned to throw a pass in a video game started manifesting itself in
For
real
real.
life.
Yeah. That's interesting.
video games are enhancing us to the next level. It would be interesting too to see, because you saw they came out with the performance enhancement games, where they just said they got a bunch of funding and they're like, do whatever you want, take as much drugs, do as much performance enhancement drugs as you want, and they like set up this committee to be able to do this safely, I believe, which I'm like a super big fan of. But immediately after they started doing this, the world record swimming 50-meter freestyle, they broke the world record. Like immediately.
See, I always felt like earlier on in my Marine Corps career, I was like, why don't they give that stuff to us? Like, could you imagine?
Right.
Like,
The whole point is
could you
efficiency.
could you imagine? Like, you get a whole bunch of
Well, I mean,
force recon dudes on
roided
performance
out.
enhancing drugs. Like, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
absolutely terrifying.
Let's be
man,
honest, you
for the
can't
enemy.
trust a bunch of Marines to be on shit like
true.
that. Like
Bro,
that's not going to go
it's true.
well.
I
But
remember.
It's not like a
Like,
lot of them
maybe a
weren't
select-
doing that
yeah.
already.
I remember
Yeah.
we had guys in our company that were making runs down to
Oh
Tijuana.
yeah. I mean, you would go out on ship, man. On float, and
dudes are
like
coming
guys,
back jacked.
guys would go on like 120 pounds wet, like a little kid, and then 6 months later they come out, they look like freaking Hulk Hogan,
How
man.
did
Like,
you end up getting bigger on deployment? That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
but like when you really look at what Marines are doing on ship, I mean, you're eating, you're sleeping, you're working out,
Dipping.
and then you're dipping.
A lot of dipping.
And then maybe playing some chess or poker.
a little bit of that.
Yeah, that too. And then repeat. There's mid rats, and like all you're doing is eating and working out.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you get to go up to the flight deck and blow some rounds off the side of the ship.
Yeah.
Not to mention just working out on ship with the movement of the
Oh, yeah,
ship.
dude,
It
like-
works out all those smaller
Oh, on a
muscles.
treadmill?
The minutia. Yeah.
Dude, I was on a treadmill one time in the gym, and the power went out on ship, and I was doing my sprint work, and I was just in the pitch dark on ship, just like, oh my God, I hope I don't fall off this thing, just sprinting as fast as I could on the treadmill, and it came on like 30 seconds later. I was like, oh my God. Thank
Dude,
God.
we used to go, before we'd get on ship, like our whole platoon, we would go down the Navy Exchange and buy Navy PT uniform. That way, during Navy hours in the gym, we would just
it's very Marine.
And that all worked for like the first week, and they were like, "Get the fuck out!" of here."
I got chewed out for wearing an Army shirt because we had just left Iraq, and I went into the Army PX and bought an Army PT shirt for the fun of
Yeah.
it. And I wore it back on ship. And it's silly for me as a civilian now. It's silly to think that this would even be an issue, but you know, it was like they saw me wearing an Army shirt as with my green Marine silkies in the gym, and I got chewed out by the MEU sergeant major so hard. For me, it was just like this little silly act of rebellion that I thought was harmless, but I had committed a horrible thing by putting on an Army shirt to go on a jog on a treadmill.
Because you went to Iraq on a ship and came, like, was that the 26th MEU that you did that on?
22nd?
No, I was on one of the West Coast MEUs, 13th or 15th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I did 2 MEUs.
So did you end up spending a good chunk of time on ship?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, on ship? Yeah. Yeah. We didn't actually spend that much time in Iraq. We were doing... It was a hybrid thing where we did the whole Iraq thing, but we also did normal MEU stuff like training in Dubai and all that kind of stuff and partying in Dubai. That was, it was, that's when that tsunami happened in 2005. So we were supposed to be in Iraq longer, but we ended up being like the first Americans to show up for that tsunami relief.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
Was that the Philippines?
It was all over
Indonesia,
the South Pacific.
Indonesia,
Yeah, it was. We went to Sumatra, which was just demolished.
I loved being on ship, though, man. Like, I
As a
enjoy.
Marine, hell yeah.
Because I mean, what's your real responsibility? You
No.
know? Ships and flight
nothing.
quarters.
Take
Yeah, okay. So what?
classes.
Yeah, like you go down some of the passageways, and you see sailors with a toothbrush scrubbing the decks, and you're like,
Dude,
that
I
sucks,
will-
man.
The Navy, like, yes, Army and Marines and all branches, yes, in Iraq, you got to go and clear houses and potentially die. That is the worst thing that can happen. But as far as like just day-to-day shitty living, the Navy has it the hardest out of any branch. Yeah. And the disparity between the enlisted and officers in the Navy.
Oh, it's huge.
I've never...
Look at the Chiefs mess. So you go up to the Chiefs mess. I got to eat up there like once or twice, and you're sitting down and it's like fine China. I won't say fine China, but comparatively.
They have soft serve ice cream.
Yeah. And then you'll hear little conversations and they're like, I ain't going down there to the animal pit. That's how they referred to us, was like the animal pit.
Officer talk about the enlisted that way.
No.
Yeah, I never got the trash duty either. Did you?
I did.
You did?
So I got to eat up in the wardrobe.
Oh my God, that room, dude.
Dude, it's so bad. Well, the worst thing is, like your birthing area, like I don't think a lot of people know this, but like your birthing area is only like maybe a little bit more than shoulder width wide. It's stacked up. You got your racks and everything, but like, God forbid you have a Marine that screws up in your platoon and he gets put on, KP or mess duty, and now he's got to go work in the kitchen on ship. Dude, like the boots, the way they smell, it's like you get trash duty, like their boots end up being so fucking foul, so foul, and like there's nowhere else to put the boots. So they got to be in the birthing area. So like if you got the bottom rack, this is why guys would like go fisticuffs over getting the top rack. Because if you're on the bottom rack, all the freaking shoes, or all the boots are all there, and it's like just all that odor is coming up.
And everyone's always sticking their freaking feet inside of your little curtain area, trying to climb their way up to their top bunk. And, the only benefit is if you're, coming back onto the ship drunk, it's
that
easy
never
access. Just go to sleep.
Right.
But I never had the trash room. But like, wasn't it just a giant trash compactor, and you were basically like shoveling shit in
Throw
there?
the trash out into the ocean.
I
Out of the
witnessed
ocean.
that.
And like, I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, hey, is this right? Should we be doing? I'm making like freaking snail trail miles long, just nothing but trash. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was always...
It's like a shock to me.
I'm by no means an environmentalist, but that was upsetting to me.
Yeah. I wonder if they still do that.
I certainly hope not.
Yeah, I mean,
we're better than that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening or watching the Black Rifle Coffee Podcast. Please allow me to take a second to pay the bills and let you know what we've got going on here at Black Rifle, or I could say the best way that you can support us. I hope that you are in the coffee club currently. If you're not, you should be. Every month, we ship fresh roasted coffee directly to you, free of shipping, and you can get in the club, get in a one bagger or one boxer for as little as $15.99 a month. Also included in that subscription is a whole section of the website for partner discounts with over 100 brands within that. Discounts on everything from firearms to protein to outdoors products, you name it. We have partnered with some of the best in the outdoor firearms industries. And if you want something a little bit more, there's always a little bit more layered within the coffee club subscription. And I'm talking about the exclusive coffee subscription, otherwise known as the Evan coffee subscription, because it was something he specifically tailored towards himself, because he wanted to drink different coffees from different countries every single month. And then it gives us an excuse to come up with a whole bunch of different branding ideas and concepts. Last month we did the Army 250th coffee. This month is not tea. And then the next month is just this wild design for the Secret Water Society. So go ahead, get in the club. It's the best way to support the brand. We appreciate everything that you do for us here at Black Rifle Coffee. Now back to the show. Jack, we were talking earlier. And this year is the Marine Corps 250th anniversary, obviously. We were just looking at the bag. We've got the coffee bag for this year's awesome, and that's coming out for the Marine Corps birthday, and Clint's on it.
It's crazy.
As a 1775 character.
Rocking the green.
So cool. But we're starting to brainstorm on what we should do for content for the Marine Corps birthday this year. And we were like, Clint was like, oh, dude, you remember the old Bud Light commercials? What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, why don't we do one where we're calling the boys, right? So, but it's like the updated version of this, and it's calling people through FaceTime, and then you're like, dude, it's a week till your birthday, like, hoorah! Like, what's Smith doing? Get him in.
We throw like a yut, or like a kill, or any number of Marine Corps grunts.
And the ever popular rah.
Oh yeah, the rah. Because you're too lazy to say hoorah.
Yeah.
So we do that, and then get a group of us together, and we go share a beer in front of 10 Tavern for the Marine Corps birthday.
I'm down for a Philly trip.
Yeah. Because it's...
10 Tavern, man. Like,
it's coming back. Like,
yeah.
It is opening that week. The original time.
Really?
The grand opening of Ton Tavern. The rebuilt... because the original one was burnt down.
Yeah.
I went up there.
1781 or something.
Yeah, I went up there. Like, I specifically went up to Philadelphia to go have a beer at Ton Tavern, but I didn't do any homework on it. And they're like, bad Marine. I should have known this, but I didn't. So I drove all the way up there. Google Maps took me to where Ton Tavern used to be. And I got there and I was like, where the hell is it? And I just happened to catch out of the corner of my eye, like the historical markers, that they have. And I was like, what the hell is that? So I went over and looked at it and it was like, here used to be Ton Tavern. But yeah, the original building, I-95 now was built over it. So, yeah, they're recreating the whole thing, man, which I think is freaking phenomenal. Like,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the Duffel Blog? It's still around.
Yeah.
I was one of the original Duffel Blog writers, and I did a story one year about how archaeologists have discovered that Ton Tavern was a gay bar. And the amount of death threats I got off of that one
yeah, imagine.
was pretty phenomenal, yeah. Most people liked it, but there were some people... Because that's, I don't know how to compare it in religious terms, but that is a holy place for the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
That's very sacrilegious.
Yeah.
But hilarious.
Yeah.
Did you get actual death threats?
Yeah, I got like that back... Because I was the only freaking Duffel Blog writer that actually used his real name. People found me on Facebook and... Yeah, threatened to like bang my girlfriend at the time, and
It's funny how Marines are. They get very sensitive about certain things.
Yeah.
Like the one shit Marines don't say.
Yeah.
Like I still get people calling me. Not calling me, but making comments about that. Like, how dare you?
Which
How
is
dare
hilarious
you
because
use
that just-
Chesty's name in vain like that? And I'm like,
shows
hey,
how
man.
dumb a lot of Marines can be.
Yeah.
Like, you understand the video is called "Shit Marines Don't Say," right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. I thought it was funny. I mean, again, imitation is kind of the highest form of flattery. I mean,
Yeah, I get it too, because originally, like, the artists had, like, they had crayons on the bottom of the bag for the 250th. And I was like, absolutely not. There's no way. Like, take a joke. It's fine. Crayon eaters, whatever.
I think
It's
also
fine.
that crayon thing has kind of
It's lived its life.
It's lived.
Yeah.
It's overplayed
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, and that was like, it was way later. Like, I was out by the time that became
That wasn't a thing
Yeah.
while I was in the Marines. Yeah, that was like an internet thing that started happening in the 2014, 15 period.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called it back in my day. We all served. Well, I served at the same time as you.
Yeah.
They called us. We just were called window lickers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, way better.
Short bus.
Yeah.
A short bus. It's funny though. The Marine Corps is. I know that the Marine Corps has probably always been this way. At least, my granddad, and my dad, like they all shared the same kind of thing about the Corps. Is like, and it's no different than how I feel about it now. It's like the Marine Corps was this thing that you love to hate and you hate to love. It's like a love-hate relationship. But God forbid anybody that wasn't a Marine start talking shit about it. Because, like, hey, motherfucker, that's not for you to talk about. Like,
That's my little brother.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, only I can talk shit about my girlfriend.
Yeah.
yeah,
Anybody else gets fucking hands,
yeah. It's interesting.
But it's crazy to think, like, 250 years, man, for the Marine Corps, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that commercial or that piece of content has a lot of good potential. I can't wait to see it. Just because borrowing from the Budweiser commercial, like, is it a ripoff of it? I don't know, man. It's just like I think of borrowing of it, because I mean it was a great commercial, but like this has the spin of like, okay, these aren't just a couple of guys sitting there and loafing around on the couch drinking a beer. Like these are like veterans.
They're holding a cup of Black Rifle coffee.
Yeah, yes. Some veterans, former Marines sitting around sharpening K-bars or like, teaching their son how to drive practice in the living room,
Well, now that we have AI and everything, why don't we recreate the lava monster?
That was so good.
Why don't we do an interpretation of that?
It was such a great commercial. You talk about the commercial.
Yeah, the commercial.
Yeah, that one in the
chessboard.
The chessboard
Yeah.
one was so
Yeah,
rad.
and that was like early 90s, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Lava Monster one, and we had the beginning part of school when I was in high school. The first thing we did, we watched Channel 1 News. Did you have that at all, Jack?
Mm-hmm.
It was just like 20 minutes of just a newscast. It was like 20 minutes the teachers didn't have to deal with the students first thing in the morning. But I remember watching the Lava Monster one on that when I was in high school, and this was like, what, late 90s?
Late 90s, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Makes an
It's like,
impression, man. Like
dude,
it
it
certainly
does.
did in me. Like, and I think the narration too. It's because like the guy talking, it's like some kind of Sam Elliott voice, like,
metaphorical.
The change is
Yeah.
over. You're like, holy shit,
Dude, that's what like every other branch does. They have their recruiting objectives. So most of their commercials are literal. It's, hey, this can give you this if you want to get this out of the Army, this out of the Air Force. We can provide. We're the Marine Corps.
What are you going to give us?
Look, we're gonna hire this ad agency. These guys are on mushrooms all the time. We're gonna get into some weird shit with these commercials. All right.
Anything goes. Like, God, I would have been fucking loved to have been a fly on the wall in that creative room when they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Do you think that came out of like?
There's
There
a
had to be like.
chessboard.
There's some Marine enlisted liaison that was a part of the PR for the media at that time. And he's like, "What if we just fought a lava monster?"
Yeah, man.
He has to cross. He has to cross this weird metal, obstacle course that's trying to kill him. And once he gets through that, you think it's over. But then this gigantic
there's more.
lava monster emerges, like something out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And he has to cut him down with a Marine Corps sword, and then
And then he transformed into his blues.
He gets his dress blues.
And this
And it's
wasn't like meant to represent some other thing, some other entity, terrorism as a whole, like being personified through a lava monster. Like, no, it was just a straight lava
He
monster.
was a beast. He was an evil monster.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't get back to those kinds of things, you know.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about doing like our version on recruiting videos forever.
Yeah.
But we, like now that we've got AI at our fingertips, it'd be super easy to just spin that up.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I might be biased, but I've always thought the Marine Corps commercials were the best.
Why doesn't Black Rifle do its own? It doesn't have to be anything to do with the Marine Corps, but it's basically mimicking the lava monster commercial, but it's a coffee monster. It comes out of the beans, and you gotta slay the beans, you know, as a metaphor for ingesting the beans. I don't know.
Or you use coffee to fight the commie monster.
Yeah.
What's the commie? Is the commie monster just lava?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that would like made more sense philosophically if it like the lava monster was representing communism or something like that.
It's borscht. It's made out of
Maybe it
borscht.
was. Yeah.
Well, it's a whole thing of borscht coming out of the ground, and you got to fight it with, you know, your caffeination. Yeah. I'm really on it right now. Good call, by the way. I don't know if this is a you or a Dove thing, but getting us gigantic chicken sandwiches and French fries right before we came up to do this.
Yeah, dude. I'm the hot chicken situation in Salt Lake is my jam. I'm about the hot chicken here.
I will say, coming from Texas, I love Texas. I live there by choice. I've lived there by choice for years. I love the culture. There's the pros outweigh the cons to me, but I will say the food sitch in Salt Lake is superior to the San Antonio area.
Whoa.
You think so?
You think so?
Yeah, San Antonio's got, of course, great Mexican food. There's a couple barbecue options, and then the German stuff. But like, I love ramen. I love pho. I mean, there's like 100 ramen pho places within 3 miles. Dude, we don't have good Mediterranean options in the San Antonio area, and there's Mediterranean places everywhere around here, and Polynesian food, dude. Just a bunch of teriyaki chicken and beef.
There's a lot of that.
And rice and macaroni salad. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jack, I mean, you eat breakfast tacos up here? Like,
No.
breakfast taco. Hello, breakfast tacos,
I agree.
man. Like, that should be that's a. I know it's Mexican.
I think
food,
you would get
but-
sick of it if you were here for any extended period of time.
Yeah, it's just because I'm here for 3 or 4 days at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to kind of romanticize it more.
Man, breakfast tacos, like it's like the weakness, you know. Breakfast taco, like my wife, she's from Pennsylvania, and when we moved to Texas, I told her one morning, we're gonna go out and get breakfast tacos. She's like, what?
It's a thing.
She's like, what the hell's a breakfast taco? I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? You don't know what a breakfast taco is? I was like, come with me. Come with me.
Every office in San
Yeah.
Antonio, there's that designated person that brings them in the morning.
Yeah.
Everybody has their communal breakfast
Well, dude,
tacos.
like just Bernie, okay? What's the
the place we
Marine
go to.
the Marine owned
Bernie,
barbecue?
you
Yeah.
mean,
The little Tex-Mex.
Los Angeles, Little Orange County.
Oh yeah. It's turning into that.
What is the
What's that place we go to?
the one that it's owned by a Marine?
Oh, Compadres.
Yes.
Padres,
Yeah.
dude. That
Freaking
I
That,
took
that place is great.
It's so good. It's got such a good feel when you go in there too, because it doesn't have that.
No, you can
cookie-cutter
tell it's
chain.
owned by a Marine.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, but
There's-
they got like they got the wooden floors and everything
Yeah.
in there.
You got Chuck Norris all over the head.
Rightfully
you know,
so.
like pictures of Chuck Norris. Like I think Chuck Norris signed his name in there. I don't know.
Probably.
It's the myth anyway.
He's from Texas, right? He wasn't just playing a Texan on TV. He's
Yeah.
from Texas, isn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
And if he's not, then it's
Played the part well.
Yeah, he played it well.
Is
Texas
that
Rangers.
true? He's from Texas?
Oh, well, let me just, been a big fan of ChatGPT lately for fact checking.
You got to go with Grok.
Like Grok's kind of all over the place now. I feel like you do.
I only use Grok to like create images of historical figures kissing each other. Like I did one of Queen Elizabeth II kissing Jimi Hendrix in heaven. All right. Where
Jeez.
is, where is Chuck Norris from?
Walker, Texas
Dude,
Ranger. Man.
that's who I need to watch a documentary on. Like his life is so
I
interesting.
think he's over 80 now too.
He is.
He became Glock's guy after
Guys.
Irving died.
I got some bad news here.
No,
from
don't say
Texas.
it. Don't even say it.
He's from
California.
Oklahoma,
Oh well, I mean,
and later grew up in California.
Oklahoma's okay because they want to be Texas. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna catch shit for that. You know,
California, though, like, I mean, obviously, whenever people think California, they think of L.A. and San Francisco and all that. But, like, man, I remember even being in, like, Temecula, Marietta when I was a kid. I had family out there. It was just cowboys everywhere,
Yeah.
ranchers and shit out
well, I
there.
mean, most of California,
They're
like
farmers.
geographically, yeah.
I
they're-
love reminding Wisconsin people when they get on, they start going on about their cheese bullshit. I let them know
Right.
California is the largest dairy producing state in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go, you get them. Well, there was that one movie with Jack Nicholson that's set in like the 30s of Southern California.
Chinatown?
Oh, yeah.
Chinatown. Great movie.
That's a
Great.
classic,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
man.
that movie's all steeped in actual history for how
Yeah.
the water situation,
all the canals,
in,
yeah.
in SoCal was
That's
used to
brilliant.
control and buy
Yeah.
all that land up for the development of LA.
LA was a real estate cash grab. That's literally outside of oil. Oil really did, and then the movie industry. But when you look at the mass influx of population into Los Angeles, it was a real estate cash grab. It was built to accommodate real estate.
Yeah. Well, that too, and initially the 49ers, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody moving out to California.
Make
There'd
that
be,
quick
there'd be
buck.
gold in them hills, you
There's
know.
still part of that culture to this day in California. There's it's not anywhere where even how it was 30 years ago, but there's still that I'm going to go out there. It's the last stop in the West. You know, I'm going to go out there and make my money. Again, it's lost a lot of that, but
I think everybody's taking a detour to Texas now.
they're starting to move east.
Yeah.
They couldn't go any farther, so now they're moving back east.
You mean look at the big film, in the film industry, the big push
Georgia,
to use Texas more.
Texas.
You know, you got Woody Harrelson and what's
North
his
Carolina.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey just did that big
yeah.
ad set with that, and then
name? What's
Robert Rodriguez has his studio in Austin
He's
now.
been there for years.
The big one is oh god, they did the Yellowstone. Taylor Sheridan, he bought.
Yeah, he bought the Four Sixes.
But they're putting one of the biggest. That's the biggest film studio in Texas, which I think rivals some places out in Atlanta.
Wow.
He's going up where?
Yeah,
In
right
Austin?
outside of Fort Worth.
Oh, no
yeah. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but Trilla Studios, the owner of Trilla Studios is from the Chick-fil-A family, and I still talk to him, and he was telling me that Taylor Sheridan, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Said he sent his team out to talk to Trilla Studios and kind of get an idea of what right looks like, you know, before they start building it up. But it should be interesting, man. It'd be cool to see, you know, more movies being made in Texas because it's got. I mean, Texas has it all.
They've used Texas a lot to even. They've used like Bastrop. They used to use a lot.
Yeah.
And
I think that's another location where they're putting a film studio, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, is that where Elon moved?
And Elon is
X2? It's Bastrop, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That used to be a
Or the-
quiet
It's a
little town.
tiny. It was a one-horse
Well,
town.
I mean, all
Yeah.
those ones.
Yeah.
It was
Dripping
just like-
Springs was like
There's
a
just couple
tiny
old
pasture.
hippies with art
Yeah.
studios there.
Yeah.
And
Dripping Springs is that's like now just an extension of Austin.
Yeah, it
really,
is.
man.
I know,
You
it's kind of sad to see.
Yeah.
Even like beautiful little towns like Wimberley are starting to kind of
Yeah.
be
That's-
suburbanized.
That's why I moved out of San Antonio, man. Like it's just things got so crazy, and it's not the same as it used to be, like in the '80s and '90s. Like, man, San Antonio used to be it was like off the hook.
Well, there's still such good
Yeah.
vestiges in there through like
Yeah.
that drive from Bernie up to Fredericksburg and like going through Lukenbach. That's
I
like
feel so,
It's
yeah.
beautiful.
that's
Past
the
through
old Texas.
Sisterdale.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's. I mean, to me, I think that's like that's the magic, the secret sauce of
Well,
Texas.
it's going to be
like the hill
interesting.
country.
Yeah,
you
because so much of Texas is private, and a lot of these old like stubborn Texas landowners aren't going to sell. They're going to
Good,
maintain
thank
their
you.
ranches.
know? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this or not, but the next season of Yellowstone is filming in Park City right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they
Well, are you? I mean, as long as you're not on the crew, you're good.
they asked for a bunch of Black Rifle stuff.
Good.
Oh.
For the set because
Maybe we can get in some of the scenes.
Wait, Yellowstone is still filming?
yeah, so they're doing like I don't know if they're gonna call it the same thing or if it's gonna be a spin-off like how they did 1883 and 1923. But from my understanding, it's gonna be focused on the Marshals, and so Casey goes over to the Marshals, and that's the
You know what I think?
general storyline.
You know what I think he should do? And I would say he, but like Sheridan. Like, I think would be really awesome for like a series or a show would be one that captures like the Texas Rangers, man. Like that would be a freaking,
Oh yeah, like if he took
a
the
hell of
same, if he did the same approach he did with Sicario,
yeah.
and did that with the Rangers, dude.
Yeah, they were known
'Cause
for
they're,
bending
like,
the
the-
rules. a
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
bit.
the Rangers
Yeah.
are in
But all-
Sicario.
All with the end state of like, you know, justice, you know.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, some of it was like a bit shady, but like
The Fourth Amendment in 1885 wasn't as
Malleable.
as it is these days.
yeah.
Which is good that we now care about that,
Yeah.
but back then they could skirt around certain things.
I'll tell you what, though. Like, I only bring that up because, well, wearing the hat. When the flood hit us in Kerrville, you know, we were giving coffee to the emergency operations center every morning, and like, man, just from our kind of backgrounds, like, it took everything in me to like, because you know, I bring the coffee in. But there's the emergency operations. So there's like the Intel Fusion Center. It's like everybody's working. And it took everything to just like, hey, this isn't my job anymore. Like just there's professionals, let them say, you know. But then a couple weeks later into it,
You didn't Jerry Jones it and
Yeah,
inject yourself in everything.
man, I wanted to, but a couple weeks later, a good buddy of mine I was teammates with, he calls me up and he's like, "Hey man, are you in town?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey, can you come over to the emergency operations center?" The commander there, he was a Texas Ranger. He was like, he invited us over to take a look at all the data and try to, you know, shoot holes, look for any gaps. And I was like, "Dude, I'll be over in 5 minutes." I got over there and like right away, I took a look at everything. I was like, "This is not JV, man. These guys are rocking and rolling, man." Like, and so it. Just being able to kind of rub shoulders with some of those Texas Rangers, man, like they're the real deal, man. Those guys are
It's a
guys
highly
are
advanced law enforcement
solid,
organization. Right
solid,
there. Yeah.
solid dudes.
I've noticed
man.
with like Texas municipal cops, even they look at those guys the same way. I'm trying to think how to phrase this, but they look at the Texas Rangers the way a high school baseball player looks at a big leaguer.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
and like, hey, we're all playing the same game here, but you guys are.
they're cut above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is like the exact jurisdiction differentiality between the Rangers and
I
other
think
federal
when it comes to like fugitives, and now
They're like
I could
Texas
be wrong,
Marshals.
but their jurisdiction is anywhere.
And they're like the top investigators in the state. So
Yeah.
anytime there's like an officer
Yeah.
involved shooting, like a sheriff or municipal cop, the Rangers come in, they do the investigation. And
Their investigating capacities like rivals the FBI's.
it's
You know,
top notch.
I don't know what that means anymore, but you know, once upon a time the FBI used to have like the best resources in terms of investigating and forensics, but I think the Texas Rangers certainly rival that. You know,
well, when you went into the Intel Center there and they asked you to potentially poke holes in anything, what was the byproduct of that?
well, it was hard to poke any holes in it because those guys have done such a phenomenal job, man. And they're working around the clock. It really is. It's something to see, man. When you peek behind the curtain and you see how much effort those guys are putting in. And it's not just Texas Rangers, like all the law enforcement, search and rescue that have been a part of that effort. Like it's almost daunting. It's overwhelming to see how much effort they put into it. But it was hard to poke any gaps or find any gaps. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I I don't know how to go about this, but from people I know that were involved with that, and I heard it straight out of their mouths, it's our instinct when we see our fellow citizens, especially children, getting hurt or going missing, we want to help. But what happened afterwards is there was a lot of misinformation from the civilian sector.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And not even like news organizations, but like just social media people.
Yes. So counterproductive.
What you were just saying, how that operation was a fine-tuned machine. So you had way too many people because they didn't understand what the actual experts and professionals were doing. They were actually making things more difficult with their bullshit, being like, we're not seeing anything over where we're at. If you have a private helicopter, get it down here. I'm like, no, they have this airspace secured with military, Coast Guard, law enforcement aircraft operating at a high level. Do not bring your bullshit little fucking hobby aircraft into the area thinking you're gonna save the day.
Well, it's tough too, and I think we all want to. Especially after a catastrophic event like that, you want to point your finger.
It's our instinct as humans.
Yeah, you want to point your finger and you want somebody to blame. But like, I really don't think majority of people understand just how catastrophic that flood was and how quickly it happened. I mean, imagine a 9-mile high cloud that in a blink dumps all of its water out into a very small piece of terrain. Now, granted, most of Texas is getting rained on, but like, 9-mile cloud, 9 miles high,
wild,
that just dumped, like a meteorological phenomena. And they call it like, this is a once in every 500-year event. So when you try to wrap your head around that, it's very difficult, and it's not really until you get on the ground in some of those areas. Which this is like four minutes from my house, so being able to see like that, it starts giving you perspective. But then when you go out to a place like Camp Mystic and you're standing out there and you realize like everywhere you can stand, anywhere on this property, it was all underwater, and it was underwater like that. The flow of the river at average is like 50 gallons per second. This is kind of how they gauge it. It went from 50 gallons per second to 900-something thousand per second within 30 minutes.
Was it
50 gallons per second to almost 1 million gallons per second in like 30 minutes? Like it's almost impossible for us to wrap our heads around that because of that, most people they want to point their finger and say, it was their fault. It was their fault. It was their fault. But like when you really look at it, it's difficult to say. Could we do better with early warning systems? Yeah, and that's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Giant lesson learned here.
Yeah, but there are times when like, hey man, there's nothing that humans can do against stopping Mother Nature. Because if it's time, it's time, and
Didn't you say it was like the equivalent of 24 hours of
Niagara Falls,
going down instantly?
All the water that goes over Niagara Falls for a 24-hour period in 30 minutes, that's how much rain came down on Camp Mystic, which is, at the mouth of the Guadalupe, right? The Guadalupe River.
It's in low terrain there.
Yeah, and there's nowhere for that water to go. Both sides of that area, it's high ground. So it's, there's nowhere for it to go. So, when you take from an emergency operations center, search and rescue perspective, you're looking for survivors, but you're also these guys are taking a forensics approach to trying to figure out what did the water do. What did the water do? So utilizing AI, machine learning, and some pretty kick-ass software like Palantir, like we're able to do like water flow analysis and get a good understanding of this is where the individual was lost, this is where they were recovered. So you input all of that data, and not just that, but like down to the granular level, like age, height, weight, like down to like swimming capability or known swimming capability. So you input all of that into this common operating picture like Palantir, and then you can leverage and run AI models against it and kind of go back and say, okay, this is where we should be looking, based off all the data and like disparate data, like data that you wouldn't think really matters, but you input it and it all has a trickle down effect, third and fourth order effects, right? So the civilian side of it's almost like a double-edged sword because like we needed the help and we got it, man. It was like people from all over the country were showing up, which is like, that says a lot about Americans, man. Like you had
Mexico was sending their firefighters up. Yeah.
It's freaking phenomenal to see the goodwill and the good intentions of Americans. But then at a certain point, and this is where I ding it like local leadership at the mayor level. And, it's like, hey, man, we got to do a better job of funneling all of this help towards the Emergency Operations Center because, like, they can give you your marching orders for the day. Hey, we need you to work in this grid. Hey, we need you to work in this grid. If you don't have that, then, like, you've got hundreds or thousands of people traipsing through the river, all over the river, and, like, removing things that shouldn't be removed. Because ultimately, again, this is like a forensics approach to finding out what the hell happened. That way, we can find those who are still missing. And we still have 2 that are missing. And one of them is an 8-year-old girl. But, yeah, the amount of technology that the Emergency Operations Center has leveraged and brought to bear on this recovery effort is, I think, will rewrite the book for search and rescue disasters well into the future. Just the multi-layered approach that they've taken to include everything from satellites up in low Earth orbit to NASA aircraft to fixed wing, rotor wing, to drone, all the way down to ground penetrating radar, side scan, sonar, sub-bottom profiling sonar, like all of it, and to dogs and 2 feet, on the ground, visibly searching, like everything in between. Like they've exhausted all, anything that could be seen as like, hey, this could help, this could work, like bring it, let's use it. So I'm very hopeful that they'll find her.
But it's still going on.
Yeah.
Right? There's still a ton of resources down there.
Yeah,
working
absolutely.
on this right now, right?
Yeah, like, man, it's almost such an emotional thing, man. Because when it happens in your backyard, it almost makes me feel guilty because like the last year with the North Carolina thing, you see that in the news, you read about it, and you're like, man, that sucks. But then you kind of carry on with your day. But like when it happens in your home, like it puts it in perspective, and you're like, geez, man, like you almost feel guilty for not paying enough attention to the disasters that have happened in the past, because it does, man. It puts a huge ding in your hometown, But anyways,
yeah, and it's such a beautiful community.
Yeah. So I love my hometown, man. Kerrville's awesome. It's like it's the hill country capital, or the heart of the hill country, and
it's what I like about it is it's still kind of untouched from the surrounding bigger, San Antonio. It's out there. It's a sizable community. What, 20,000, something like that?
Yeah, about 22,000.
Yeah, but it's a standalone place. You kind of have everything you need. There's an HEB there. Yeah. There's a Home Depot.
Well, HEB, which is like near and dear to my heart. I mean, Texas's grocery store. HEB started in Kerrville,
Yeah.
That's where it started, right there downtown. I get tacos right next to it. Yeah. Henry Edward, you know. But I mean, you talk about an awesome
they activated right away.
Dude, initially you saw convoys from corporate in San Antonio just sending, because they have like a dedicated disaster relief arm of HEB. Yeah.
A regional, not even regional,
man.
just a state grocery chain.
Yeah. We got to get into HEB, man.
Well, we got the drinks in there. We got to get the rest of
We
it.
got to get coffee in.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense why we wouldn't have, you know.
Yeah, I think there were some other factors in that, but
Yeah.
God bless Texas, boys.
Right.
Well, Jack's got to get out of here.
I got a plane to catch. Back
He's got to go.
HEB.
HEB land, yeah.
HEB land. I can't wait to get back myself. But
Yeah, I've been on the road for I think 12 days now. It's been a while since I've been on the move this long. So
where were you at before this?
I started out in Manchester at a roasting facility.
Oh, that's
last week, Monday through Wednesday, and then I
Dude, 10 million pounds of coffee a year.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, we're coming up. I think
Dude,
like 2 years ago it was only 7 million.
I live on the media side. That's what I do. I don't fancy myself a coffee guy. I know where I work and what I'm supposed to contribute to. But I will say, man, as a layman to coffee, when you go to that roasting facility,
It's no joke, man.
it's no joke,
yeah.
and it really makes you appreciate coffee.
Yeah.
Seeing just that kind of operation.
It's like the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, only for coffee. Like it is freaking.
It is.
I walked
There's
in there.
No fat German kids
Dude,
going up through.
Right.
The
There are no Oompa Loompas.
Can there be?
But man, I walked in there the first time and I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, I mean, you could eat off the floors there. You know, like you straight eat off the floors. That's how clean the place is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's freaking phenomenal, man.
And even the bathrooms, but I appreciate a clean bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll end it there with clean bathrooms and good coffee. Thank you for listening to the Black Rifle Coffee Podcast.
Black Rifle Coffee, baby. Bring it on.